What does it mean to flourish? Think about that for just a second. There are lots of possible responses to this question, and most of the responses that probably immediately jump into our mind, I suspect, typically revolve around some kind of notion of material prosperity. So if that's our starting point, let me tell you immediately where I'm going. My point to you today is that the answer to the question, what does it mean to flourish, only makes sense, the most possible sense, when we position the answer to that question within the broader biblical notion of oikonomia. And throughout the day, we're going to talk a lot about biblical oikonomia. But let me just get into it for a little bit right here. We get our English words economy and stewardship from the Greek word oikonomia. Economy, after all, was originally oikonomia. It was that Greek word translated often in the New Testament as stewardship. Now, later Christian writers used oikonomia to mean two very different things, but this is part of what I hope we can recover in our conversation about flourishing. Those earlier Christian writers used oikonomia to mean not only how God divinely orders the universe, but how the church orders itself in response to that mandate. In an everyday sense, economic means the norms or natural rules that every dimension of life sort of operates out of or operates by. This is not the law of supply and demand necessarily. It's the truest truths of the universe about a particular area or dimension of life that I'm calling economic. This is the way things were set up to work. God entrusts all of those economic realms to our care, and he expects us to engage in the active cultivation of their potential for two reasons. Why does God actively ask us to do this? Because when we do that, we express, from our standpoint, God's worth. That's what we mean by worship. And on the other side of that is we give expression to the original goodness that's still there for each of those economic realms of life. This is part of the fundamental theological underpinning to work and worship and bringing those together.
To learn more about the Oikonomia Network, check out oikonomianetwork.org.